Okay, so day one of solving systems by elimination. So let's start with that very first fact. Um, System equations are usually in standard form. So let me remind you that's ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers. None of them zero. Well, I guess c could be zero, but okay. Um, and the thing is, what we want to do is another name for elimination method is linear combination. Um, which is we can combine equations to eliminate a variable. Okay, so when we did the substitution method, we learned if all we have is one unique variable, just x or just y, we can solve that pretty easily. So that's kind of the goal here. Um, and so let me give you an example. Also, you can get answers that in no way could you figure out by graphing and figuring out where the two lines intersect. Um, Let me give you negative x plus 3y equals 6. So that's in standard form. And right underneath, our second equation is negative 10x minus 3y equals 16. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. And this is perfectly set up to eliminate y. Think of combining these two, morphing them into one equation. You see what's going to happen? Go ahead, tell me.
What's gonna happen is that like the 3y is gonna be like out. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, what's going to happen when I multiply positive 3y and negative 3y? What does it form? When you add any opposites, you get 0. So that's what's going to happen. So if you have something that already has opposite coefficients, here, let's write that down. That's a perfect candidate for linear combination. Okay? So let's do this. Put a line there because ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to add the terms that are stacked up. So let's try that. So let's see. If I combine negative x with negative 10x, what's that going to give me? Negative 11. And combining 3y and negative 3y, well, that's 0, so we'll just eliminate it. That's the elimination part. And then we have equals 16 and 26, that's 22, right? All right. Well, if I have a negative 11x equals 22, what's x going to be? Negative 2, right? So now we have that fact. X is negative 2. So we figured out one part of the solution. Now we have to figure out the other part of the solution. How do you think we'll do that? Now we want to figure out y. All we have are these equations, right? And the fact that x is -2. Can we use that to figure out y? Yeah, pick an equation. The top one or the bottom one? Which one do you think we should use? No right, no wrong answer, by the way. You want to use the top one? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to recopy -x plus 3y equals 6. And then I'm going to replace x with -2. So it's going to be negative. And then -2 will go in there. And so that's going to be 2 plus 3y equals 6. So I'll subtract 2 from both sides. I'm going to get 3y equals what? 4. Okay, focus on this, please. Yeah, 3y equals 4. So divide 3 on both sides. You could do it mentally. And what's y going to be? 3y equals 4. Divide by 3 on both sides. 4/3. Basically, I just did this step. And so I got y is 4/3. So I have my solution. -2, 4/3. You could write it as 1 1/3 if you want, but 4/3 is fine. So this is an answer we couldn't get by graphing, and it would be pretty hard to do by substitution. And it all happened because the y values, once you combine the two equations, just go away. Okay? So we'll do a few of these. 3 to be exact. All right. Okay. You guys ready? Let's do number 1. So we're going to solve by elimination. Okay. So number 1, let's do -4x plus 10 y equals 17, and 4x plus 7y equals 17. So again, these are in standard form. A, B, and C are all integers. Okay, what's going to eliminate this time? If you combine the top and the bottom, yeah, they're opposites. So always look for an opposite. This time, this is our opposite. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's combine. This is going to cancel, and I'm going to get 17y equals, what's that going to be, 34? So if 17y equals 34, what's y going to be? 2. Divide by 17 on both sides, we'll get our answer for that. Okay, so now what do we do to get x? Pick either of those equations, the top or bottom. I would probably pick the bottom, just smaller numbers. Replace y with 2. Okay? So now I'm going to pick 4x plus 7y equals 17. Replace y with 2. And that's because y is 2. We know that now. So that's 4x plus 14 equals 17. Let's take away 14 on both sides. So that's going to be 4x. And if I have 17 take away 14, that becomes 3. So what's x going to be? X is going to be 3/4. And so the solution here is our x value, 3/4, and our y value, which is 2. There we go. Okay. So for the next one, just on today's, and then we'll add more to it, we're going to have to tweak one of the equations a little bit. Number 2. Okay. Let's say I have negative 2x minus 6y equals 8. And then I also have negative 6x minus 6y equals 0. Okay, let's do that. Do you notice something? I always look at the equations and I try to see if I have opposites. Do I have any opposites? No, but it's pretty easy to make one an opposite. Can you think of how we might do that? Yes. Yeah, but we want these stacked up. That would make sense. It would become positive 6y, but it would be on the other side. But there's another way to make one of these a plus 6y. Yes?
Can we make the 8 negative?
The 8? Well, the 8 won't do any. We want to get rid of either x's or y's. So since these are almost opposite, negative 6y and negative 6y, I just want to flip the sign on one of them. And I'll tell you what we do. We're going to take either of the two equations. I'll take the bottom one because it's got the 0 there. I'm going to take this equation. What's going to happen to this equation if I multiply the whole equation by negative 1? Yeah, everything reverses except for 0, obviously. Yeah, that'll be 6y, 6x. That'll be positive 6y, and that'll stay 0. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to rewrite, well, both equations. The top one, you just copy it over. And then the bottom one, after we multiply through, negative times a negative is positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. And that's what we actually wanted. And negative times 0 is 0. You see what happened? Now we got an opposite. Okay? So let's go ahead and, well, this is going to stay, it's negative 2 and positive 6. So that would make it 4, right? And this goes away. And then you add 8 and 0. And that's 8. So x has to be positive 2. Divide by 4 on both sides, you get 2. Okay, so now we know x is 2. Take any of these equations, even the new one here at the bottom, and replace x with 2. Which one do you want to use? A, B, or C? A? Okay, we can do A. So it's going to be negative 2 parentheses minus 6y equals 8. And in the parentheses, we're going to put a 2 because we use this equation. We get negative 4 minus 6y equals 8. So let's add 4 to both sides. If I add 4 to both sides, minus 4 goes away. I get negative 6y. And what's on the other side? 12, yeah. Plus 4 here eliminates it. Plus 4 here makes it 12. So now just divide by negative 6. And we get a solution of x equals negative 2. Oh, y, yes. Let's change that to a y. Ooh, it worked sort of. There we go. Y is negative 2. So we got our solution again. And you should always write that as an ordered pair. 2, negative 2. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time with that trick we just did. Number 3. Okay, so let's do 10x plus 9y equals negative 17, and 10x minus 2y equals positive 16. Do you see these are identical, not opposites? So this time we can get rid of x's. So what should I do to do that? Multiply by negative 1. Let's see, the last time I did the bottom, I'm going to do the top one. You could do either one. I mean, I probably would have gone for this one, smaller numbers, but it won't make it much of a difference. So let's see. Negative 10x minus 9y equals 17. And then just copy over the bottom one. So now we do have opposites. Again, you're always looking for opposites. So that's what's going to cancel out. Okay, so let's do that. What's that going to give me? Negative equals how much? Huh? So doesn't that mean that y is negative 3? Okay, let's find x. So pick an equation, any equation. This one, or a new equation. Which one do you want to try? Won't matter. Let's try the new one, negative 10x minus 9. Okay, so let's try that one. I don't have enough room here, really. I think I do. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one. Negative 10x minus 9 times equals 17. And we're replacing the negative 3 that y is. Okay, so that's going to be negative 10x plus 27 equals 17. And let's go ahead and take away 27 on both sides. See if you can do it mentally. So if I minus 27 here, it goes away. If I minus 27 to positive 17, what do I get? If I have 17 and negative 27, it becomes negative 10. So what's x going to be? 1. And we have our solution. Uh, 1 comma negative 3. Okay. Any questions? All right. So this is definitely something that you can't just think it through and do it. So to do your work, take a marker and an eraser and go through delta.